All right, we're back in action. It's a brand new best of 3, and you're watching the BTSL. Once again, this tournament is sponsored by Twitch, so if you guys really want to say thank you, a subscription will do both us and them a favor. On top of that, of course, we have Matt Jarino contributing some bucks and some nice folks too. Actually, we'll give some shout outs at the end of stream for those guys as well. But in game number 1 of this brand new best of 3, spawning to the lower right, it is going to be Root Gaming's herO. Very good Protoss player.
Cheesy, too. And top left is the blue Zerg. He is solar.
Also, for all the folks who are trying to talk to me about Artosis Pylon.
Don't break the illusion, Rifkin.
Okay. I was just going to say, I don't know what you guys are talking about. You're referencing to some game that Artosis played in, but I'm pretty sure he cast StarCraft 2, and he's not a professional player, so I don't know what you guys are talking about. There we go. Did I double down correctly? Is that how that works?
You did double down correctly.
And
you should have also said something like, doesn't Artosis play Terran? It doesn't make any sense that he has pylons.
What if Zelda was a girl?
Ha! 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 Honk.
Alright there, Chinese cat. I need you to calm down. Bring Zombie back, please.
Honk. I should have adopted a cat from China. Seen if the theory is true.
I would have not liked if you had done that, because I worry that the cat would have been loud like one of your other cats, and we're just sitting there listening to it. Well, obviously, I don't think a Chinese cat actually goes honk, but you know, like some sort of really weird, like you know when you hear meow, it's a cat, right? Like it's very identifiable. But a cat, if you guys have never heard like animals in other languages, they actually do sound different.
They
It's
do.
weird.
Yeah, like Chinese cats actually sound different. You would know if you adopted a Chinese cat.
Yeah, it sounds like a goose.
And not just because it's upside down.
Oh, hey, I don't know who the heck that would be an Australian cat, wouldn't it, Zombie Grove?
Oh, you're right. You dig to China. Damn.
By the way, this would be a dirty cat. I don't know who this is, but hey, thank you for the host coming out of Jackin_EU. Or maybe it's JakeN_EU. Either way, thank you for the host.
Alright, thank you to El Baracho for this 27-month resub. Thank you, BaseTV, for all you do. Don't one-up my shout-out.
Oh,
herO.
Oh, look! He's back!
Sharky!
Hey, what up, buddy?
So,
what country are you from? He's going for a tea kettle build?
Going for a zealot. You might have been watching the games, actually. Exact same matchup, exact same map. Worried about a bit of an early attack. But usually you cancel the zealot if it's not the case. So I feel like the zealot feels really useless now.
Well,
trained for 1,000 years and fills a hole in the wall.
He does have 8 kill on him. So I don't know if useless is the right word. Maybe not useful.
Killing is useless, Tristan.
Is killing useless, Zombie Grub?
It's pointless.
Okay, I want you 1 versus 1 me. Rule is you can't kill any of my units. You gotta somehow win the game.
Will that be a useless game to fight? Just prove my point, man. Not even for anything. Not even get a prize.
I would still.
Why would I ever?
What's an Artosis Pylon?
Ooh.
Alright, third base was taken a little bit early out of herO, by the way. And in a little bit less than conventional location, as we're so used to seeing them over here. So, work kind of cut out for him. The thing I do like about this position, as much as there's a lot of bad things to say about taking it out here, is the pylon does cover both this base and the ramp. So Solar can't really easily contain herO the way you would normally.
I mean, it's like any race can take any of the bases on this map and still be like viable. I think you can see reasons for it, but it's there's give and takes for both thirds.
That's what I really like about this map, though. The fact that there is a lot of what's the word, like malleability. Like you can be flexible with things like this. Other maps, like you take the wrong base on like Proxima Station or Paladino, you're gonna have a bad time. This is also something we've been seeing become a lot more common recently too, to do these stasis traps. I'm impressed with the way Solar handled it, but this can be so frustrating when this actually catches like half a mineral line.
It can be really good. It's just like that one stasis trap that catches 14 drones, and it's totally worth the dozen bad ones beforehand. It seems like Xerxes have gotten really used to dealing with it. Impact was good against it too. Solar is fine here. Solar, by the way, going for a lot of lings, no more drones, making his Ravagers.
Do Chinese cats understand American cats? Coming from that bit boss. That's a good question. I would imagine, since they don't have a written or spoken language, the answer is just no, though.
Well, I mean, it's more like they do sign language, right? Because like cats can tell like with body language what's going on. Like they don't meow at other cats. They hiss.
I just think, like, you say body language, I think of like a cat in heat, like wagging its tail around, like, I wonder what she wants.
Ugh. Anyway, Solar is pretty all in here, and he is attacking before herO's gateways are done.
Oh,
before
boy.
the motions are
This is bad. The oracles actually charge up to try and do some damage, but this is where the Queen's in the front line is so important. Solar is actually just running train. It's chaos, it's havoc, and it's almost game over territory for herO.
I do wonder if herO hadn't let those lings in, if his motion core had been sniped, if the gateways are done, like all these like tiny little things, would he have held? Because it's really not so far from holding right now. There's only Ravagers left over. The Queens are out of transfuses. Lings are trying to rally across the map, but it's, you know, kind of a large map. Immortal looks like it's gonna go down though. Oh, well, another Immortal's already out. If herO could maybe hold, and he's at a okay probe count.
It's, I don't know, like he's starting to beat this back, but I feel like the rate at which he's doing it is so slow. Like, okay, yeah. It's like bouncing back and forth the supply. The Immortal finally goes down.
Yeah, that's probably it.
This is, well, the Stalkers are still holding the natural, or the third base, excuse me. Yeah, this is looking pretty grim for herO, to say the least.
Yeah. It was pretty close, seriously. I mean, if he was producing, if he had gas, I suppose, and he was producing like a Void Ray right now, that would be super helpful. For the pylon, for this overcharge coming up on the Mothership core, super useful. He does need to stay the third base, I would say. Like, if he's down 15 probes and without a third Nexus, that's too much.
Yeah, base going down is pretty rough. Base going down is pretty rough. Man, who was it that started the 420 trend? Like, I feel like all our bit bosses now are just gonna be super dank and not on purpose.
Super dank. What is 420 anyway? Like, I kind of forgot why it's a
420 is the day where you smoke an Artosis pylon and celebrate Hitler's birthday. Don't you know there is zombie grow?
I know Stalin's birthday.
You know, 420 is historically the time which you're almost off of work, but not home yet, so you smoke a joint.
I see. I am looking forward to chat's explanations for it.
That is definitely a real answer, not one I made up on the spot.
I'm sure. Even if it was the real answer, chat would have amazing other answers.
It's also
trying to deal some return damage. The depths are gonna die though, and herO's once again left at like 0 supply, army supply.
Fun fact, it's also known as 420 because that's how many marijuanas you have to download before you're initiated into the club.
Did you download 4 RAM yet? Is that why your computer's lagging?
You know what? Maybe it's because it's clogged up with all those marijuanas.
You gotta smoke them real quick.
I got at least 7 in there. I gotta inject to get them out of my system.
So meanie.
Out of my system and into my system.
Hey. herO's doing a decent job trying to bring this back, and again, if he hadn't lost that third base, I would be totally on board the comeback train.
I concur.
But still, no third base, even though he's banking enough minerals.
So this is where we would call it, like, when the main base mines out, does this become like an Artosis Nexus? I'm trying to understand the logic of chat here, and it just doesn't make sense to me. Because this would be the one Nexus powering him through his economy, right?
But it wasn't... wait a second, that actually makes some sense.
Oh no, did I go? Oops.
Wait a second. No, I don't think it doesn't. It's not just that it's singular, but it is powering. Oh, because it's like as one warp prism and Artosis warp prism, because it's the only thing powering on the front lines.
What if you didn't build a pylon and you had a warp prism with a power field?
What if
and
Protoss
it died?
Actually advanced their technology after 20,000 billion years?
Well, they don't have time
hey
for
guys,
that. There's a lot of internal strife. There's the Zerg. Like, I think you're really not giving them enough credit for the work they do. I mean, they don't even have mouths, for God's sake, Samgrub. If you don't have mouths...
Photosynthesis. Photosynthesis.
This is actually quite a big army supply out of Solar. If you get rid of the Immortals right away, this is an easy win. But the funny thing is, Immortals can actually do so much damage. But never mind. The Adepts all transfer away and kind of abandon ship. The Warp Prism dies with the Immortals inside. One gets out but dies on the ground. And when the Adepts transfer out of this, Solar's army, like all the drones could die. And Solar's just going to have so much army to work with. Not to mention those mutas that are on the way.
And heroes close on third base. That was all in. All in. GG.
I will say, I think herO, excuse me, in many other situations, like he finds himself beaten back like that early on, responds like this, and I think there's probably latter games where he actually brings that game back to a victory. I actually do not fault any of his follow-up, but it didn't work, and Solar's pretty good.
It didn't. Thank you to Ice Wolfie for the 1757 bits.
Hang on, I'm going to replay this, because this sucks. Okay, so Ice Wolfie, there's a problem we've had, and I've actually talked to the developer about this on stream, where if I'm swapping scenes and bits are donated, first off, the chance of this happening is minuscule, yet it keeps happening. And unfortunately, it's not going to show you as killing the boss because it's bugged out. The boss still only has 416 health, the next person to knock it out, and so forth and so forth. But Ice Wolfie, know that in my heart, you are the current bit boss. I stumble over my words.
Spit boss. Patooey.
Yeah. Anyways, apologies about that, but it's a bug with the thing, and it's still a new thing, and I don't know.
New thing and all the things and the jiggers and the kajiggers.
I wonder if I tweet... If I tweet to Artosis asking what an Artosis pylon is, do you think he'd answer? Or do you think he'd just unfollow me?
I think he'd unfollow you. I was gonna say, like, he is opening his, like, questions, like, and answers thing to the Brood War guys, and I was like,
look,
if only that was a Brood War reference.
I'm just saying, maybe, consider this case, maybe I know what an Artosis pylon is. I'm not saying I do, but maybe I do. And I feel bad about, you know, my bro Artosis getting all this crap for years.
You know what the Artosis pylon is like?
Don't say it. It has nothing to do with drops.
It's a lot like a Rifkin drop.
Is it?
I'm just throwing it out there, you know? Should I tell Artosis about this? Oh, lordy. Oh, dear.
I don't... Okay, well, in the bottom right, he doesn't want to dance around for the long game. He wants a short game. He's going to be the Red Protoss, Root Gaming's herO.
He's got his putter out and looking to that short game. Golf references. In the top left is the Blue Zerg. He is Solar.
Shout out to both people who understood the golf references.
Look, okay, people putt all the time. They know short game.
Oh wait, hang on. Did this thing update with Ice Wolfie now? Okay, I see Ice Wolfie's name on the overlay now.
Yay, it fixed itself. It's a miracle. Oh, Solar went for a early natural hatchery. That was kind of weird. Anyways, this is not something you see very often, so, you know, feast your eyes on the proxy gateways. Reason why it isn't used? Because it's usually not very good. Even if you get the gateways entirely undetected, it still, like, can be responded to as long as they don't go for a 3-hatch for a pool. And even then, I think I've seen a professional Protoss mess up doing this against a 3-hatch.
Okay, so this would be like... This one would be the Tasteless gateway. This would be the Artosis gateway. And this would be the Rapid Casting gateway.
I was going to say the Rapid Casting gateway.
I would like to see this work. I just don't have faith in it. It was at the start of Legacy of the Void, when everyone had all these workers. Everyone was trying things like this to try and make these things work. It just never did.
It doesn't. It just... The drones are plentiful enough that if you lose one or two, it's not so bad, and you have enough minerals to throw down a spine crawler where in the past maybe you didn't. But I mean, he's banking up the zealots. Solar's just now recently going, like right now, is seeing a lack of a nexus. Luckily, he did have enough larva to start making more lings, but there's a spine crawler immediately, and the spine crawler gets up. It's kind of game over for herO. There's no macroing out of this, so even if he gets the natural hatchery, which is kind of a given, if the spine crawler saves the drones in the main, then that's still Solar's advantage. I didn't realize he got a Simon X core though. Like that does change things up a little bit. Usually it's 4 gateways, all zealots, all in, but
well, so this is where it does get interesting, right? Because the adepts, yeah, they can deal with the lings and chase the queens down, but the zealots can't. Oh, get corralled.
Run, lady.
But as I say, Solar actually bought a lot of time for the spine crawler to finish up in the main. The adepts can't really easily transfer through. In fact, the lings just need to kill this pylon, and that stops all further aggression. Wow, that was a pylon powering all the buildings. Once again, putting all his eggs in that basket pylon.
It's too bad there wasn't another pylon to help it.
Another one to back him up.
Yeah.
Zealots do take down the natural base while this goes on, and I don't know, like Solar's got a counterattack geared up and good to go, and I don't believe there's, the mothership core wasn't started until just now. He supply blocked for it too. So herO's gonna lose out on the mineral lines.
Harsh. Solar might just 2-0 herO, man. herO with the weird tactics, the proven to be not so good tactics too. Proven again here.
Don't get me wrong, I don't think this came from a place of desperation, but I just don't think this is going to work against a player like Solar.
I'm really trying to imagine where it does work. As long as the Zerg player responds to a spine crawler in the mineral line and doesn't lose a spine crawler, because I think that's when it works.
Well,
they're good to go.
So let's assess this. herO's going to come out behind in the resources lost, and not because probe lines got slaughtered. He actually did a good job minimizing probe losses. They're on equal workers. No natural base advantage for Solar. But he does kill 3 gateways? Like, I feel like this just resets the situation, and if herO can get any semblance of a wall at the front to stop Solar from running by with any further lings, I think he's okay, and I think they're both going to actually progress through the game, funny enough. But the reason, as you say, I don't think that this 3 gate came from a place of desperation was because there was a plan behind it. Like, he took the gases and he went for the cyber core. Whereas the few times that we did see this, it was just like zealot after zealot after zealot after death. Like, it was dedicated and worked badly.
So the thing is that, like, either herO goes for 1 base production, so he has production, because he has to remake the gateways, right? And that's what he's doing. Or he takes an expansion. The expansion means that Solar doesn't have to worry about being attacked for a very long time, and probably exceeds that of herO's production eventually, with injects and larva. And if it's the 1 base, that's what it is here, then Solar just plays it smart again and defensive, and should also still be fine, I think. Like, I still think his position is better. But we'll see. I mean, these aren't just going to be Dark Templars. They could be Archons. And Archons in the early game are quite difficult to tear down. Solar really, really playing safe, man. Like, he is scouting everywhere. He's getting a really early lair.
For me, it's just the fact that this was 1 base for so long really screws with timings on both sides. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm fully on board the train of view where you're like, look, Archons are good, they can do a lot of damage, they're hard to kill. But is this going to hit at a time where they are that dangerous?
The only dangers are the War Prism, in my opinion. So I don't even think they will be. I really do believe that herO's just hoping that Solar goes for a 3rd base and no lair. Although you could go for 3rd base and still go for a lair. But the point is, like, there's some sacrifice of detection, but there's not. The lair's already here. Overseer's already being made so that I think he can scout the main entirely, because he hasn't seen the Dark Shrine, he's just in the gateways. That could be a natural follow-up to a Tidelight Council, and it's going to be able to see that now. DTs are being made on a pylon to the north. It's kind of a cool little trick, but they still have to run across the map. Surprisingly, this Overseer is getting denied.
Back at home, I guess he's not going to be prepared for this. Overseer starts up, so never mind. Okay. All you really need to do is be able to see the DTs. 3rd base, okay, it might get canceled, might even get killed.
Maybe. Decides not to go for it. You're going to test the natural. Very disappointed to see an Overseer. If there's a Spore Crawler, then fine, you get the 3rd base. But with an Overseer, as long as there's any Roaches, which are now coming forward, you don't get the 3rd base either. And you just lose the DTs because there's no War Prism.
herO. Applaud the effort.
Yeah,
Solar.
bacon herO.
Yo, so this means Zest versus Solar in the finals, by the way. Whoop whoop. Also, new bit boss coming from Bacon herO. I know Ice Wolfie, dude, if you're still lurking around, man, I'm sorry. This thing is... I don't think it's made for scene switching as much as we do, so, like, you totally got screwed over on being the bit boss. I'm not going to pretend like you didn't. But there's nothing you can do to fix it, so I just hope you can accept my apology. I know that we really appreciate the cheers, nonetheless. Mr. X Tackle. Wow, that's a name I have not seen for a very long time.
Hello.
If this is, I think it's the same guy at least. If you guys don't remember, there's a guy named Mr. X Tackle. He was like hanging out with us when we were like starting brand new. So, if that is you, sir, hello. And if it's somebody else with a similar name, then this is awkward. Deal with it. We're gonna go to commercial break though, and we'll see you guys here in a couple of minutes. Before we do though, I would like to ask. I'm gonna guess because nobody's contributed anything over the last hour. I'm assuming all the coupon codes have been used up. But just on the off chance that they haven't, do me a favor and type in !Matcherino in chat. Go to the prize pool. Use the code BTSL1, like the number 1, not the letters 1, and you can contribute $1 to the prize pool. If the codes have been used up, then mission a freaking accomplished. Either way, we'll see you in 2 minutes.